Replacement of the evil engine. It was late at night on the island of New Florida, and the trains were busy on the tracks with their passengers while the branch members were asleep. The stars twinkled in the night sky while people and engines were asleep, and trains went over the crossings. Early the next morning, Jackie was very traumatized due to the ghost of Poison Darkstar. She had been on a chase for a long time, and there was a freight train of toxic waste approaching. And then the 4 engines made it over, and then the crew member applied the brakes, and then Darkstar hit the train, and Alexia and LaShonda saw everything. No one had been hurt, but there was a big crash. Poison Darkstar was destroyed. Jackie had promised not to do anything bad ever again. Just then, Courtney and her trailing units arrived. And then Kirsten pulled up. Jackie came out of the sheds finally. And then she turned around on the turntable. "Good morning, Jackie," said Kirsten. "Let's go to work. You're gonna help the preschool helpers." "Good work, good job, Kirsten," Jackie said. And a few minutes later, Jackie shunted the freight cars for Lise, Penny, and the others. And then there was a big thunk. Courtney's wheels slipped, and then she set off. "Here I go," she said. "I'm the biggest engine ever." "You're the strongest engine I've ever seen," said Casey. "Takes a lot to do circle time," said Penny. "Sure does," said Gwen. "It does," said Rose. "Off we go now," said Lise. The next day, Mr. Pie Cakester had an important job for Jackie. "Malpy is off island today," he said. "You must do her work." "I won't suffer mechanical difficulties, sir," said Jackie, and she steamed out of her shed and out of the yard. At Union Station, she backed up to the coaches and hitched up with a thunk and rang her bell. "Make way for me," said Jackie, and she steamed out of the station. She blasted out her whistle and clattered over the crossing. Then an inbound train came into view. The cab car was in front while the engine was in the rear. Jackie clattered along, starting to enjoy herself. Then the inbound train rocketed by. Then she steamed onto the northeast corridor. She was being useful. She knew every part of the line. But there was trouble ahead. A child was misbehaving in a restaurant, and they had to put them in timeout. And Jackie slowed down and came to a stop. "Oh no!" cried Jackie. She was frightened. She was so frightened, she went backwards and Alexia and Ida came into view. "We're coming through," they said. "Why are you going backwards?" asked Alexia. "A child was misbehaving and it's none of my business!" "Well, Jackie." Then Scriba came in. "Watch out!" she cried, and the brake hit hard, and then it was too late! She fell off the cliff! And into the water! Alexia bumped Jackie, and Camille came into view! And she didn't see the boxcar until it was too late! Nancy came into view. "Say Maru for me," she said. She enjoyed pulling nuclear waste, but there was trouble. There was a derailed car and she slammed her brakes on and sparks flew. It was too late! Luckily, no one was hurt, but the engines were derailed, and the freight cars, some of them stayed on the tracks. Camille's wheels had fallen onto the sleepers. "I'm stuck," she said, and then Nancy was crunched. And Scriba was underwater. "No one would find me down here," she said. Then Courtney pulled up. "I'll do everyone's jobs at the same time," boasted Jackie. Once she was back on the rails, she shunted her commuter cars over to Scriba's, and then she shunted them over to Alexia and Ida's and Camille's and Nancy's train at once. "I'll get this done on time," she said. And then she puffed with all of her might. Her axles ached, but she kept on puffing. Then she came to Sasha's hill. "This is the biggest hill to climb," Jackie said to herself, "'cause I have a lot of horsepower." And then she puffed and chuffed. Her engine roared. "Must get up," grunted Jackie. And then there was trouble. The heavy train started to push her down the hill. Then she braked so hard her brake blocks fell off. "Help!" cried Jackie. "I can't stop!" And then she rocketed along. And then Marnelli was parked waiting for her call. And then Jackie came into view. Marnelli raced ahead and Jackie puffed behind. Marnelli coupled up to Jackie and her wheels slipped on the rails. And at last they came to a grinding halt. "Thank you, Jackie." The next day, Mr. Piestar and Cakester were proud. "Great work," Mr. Cakester said. "You saved the day." "And you're really useful," said Piestar. "Thank you." "She says thank you," said Courtney, and all the engines felt happy.